Hey, I'm Big Lou Barbecue and other things I want to do. And let me tell you what I've got going on for you. I'm about to pull some ribs off my smoker. They've been going most of the afternoon. Dusk is about to settle in and it's getting dark, so I apologize for the bad lighting. And I'm kind of worried because I kind of tried something a little different on this. I got to thinking, and that's not always a good thing. You know, I made some buttermilk the other day, and I had this buttermilk and I had some spare ribs, and I got to thinking, you know, we marinate chicken in buttermilk. That's good. Marinate pork chops in buttermilk. They're good. Whether you're frying them or grilling them, they're good when they're marinated in buttermilk, right? So why don't we marinate ribs, you know? Hardly marinate ribs in anything. And I looked at some of my cookbooks, and I didn't find very many rib marinades. Found one that involved red wine and stuff. I looked on the Google, I looked on my Googler machine, I looked on my YouTuber machine, I looked for everything. I said, has anybody ever marinated ribs in buttermilk? I didn't find anything. Maybe it has happened, but I had the buttermilk and I said, I wonder what will happen. Because here's my point. When you marinate chicken or you marinate pork chops in buttermilk, it makes them tender. I've also marinated venison, deer meat. When I don't hunt, but my brother does, and I know folks that do, and when I have deer meat, I marinate it in buttermilk. All right, so I thought, what if I marinate some spare ribs in buttermilk? All right, well, they've been going, let's see, it's about 8 o'clock, and they've been going since early afternoon, I guess, and maybe 3-ish I put them on. So 5 hours in the barrel house smoker, and I'm about to find out what they look like, all right? Look, if they don't come out good, you're not watching this anyway. But if they come out okay, I'll probably post it. So stick around to the end. Let's find out how these ribs came out. Big Lou Barbecue. All right, to begin this idea of buttermilk marinated spare ribs, I need to start with some buttermilk. That's some cultured buttermilk that I made the other day. And I'm adding some garlic and herb seasoning. A lot of your buttermilk recipes online will say use fresh garlic, fresh herbs to the buttermilk. But everything I need is in that dried seasoning right there, except for some Worcestershire sauce. I add some Worcestershire sauce to it and mix that buttermilk marinade up, and then I put it on top of these spare ribs. Now, I cut these spare ribs down to St. Louis cut, and I saved the tips for something else. I'm going to smoke the tips with this, but I'm going to use the tip meat in some jambalaya later this week. So I'm just going to take the spare ribs and only do the St. Louis cut spare ribs in this buttermilk marinade, put it in the ice box for about 4 hours, and take them out when I'm ready to start cooking, y'all. All right, so I pull them out. I already got the first rack done for you. I pull it out and I pat it dry with some paper towels there a little bit. And then I'm going to put on some rub. I'm just using a store-bought rub. I was almost out of it, so I doubled it up with another store-bought rub. I often like to make my own rubs, but I was ready to get this one used up. I've had it for a little while, and it's a good rub. Both of them are good. All right, so I wind up doing the same thing with the sauce a little later. Okay, the cooker doesn't really matter. The method doesn't really matter. I'm just trying to find out if soaking spare ribs in buttermilk is a good idea. You know what? I think it was. I want y'all to stick around to the end to the taste test, all right? Let's get the grill thrill on. All right. That's saying 280, 290, but thereabouts. That's saying 301, a little bit different down in the bottom. That's cool. Let's hang these. All right. Rib tips have a different rub, more savory rub, because I'm gonna use those in jambalaya for the most part. Not a sweet, salty type rub. Well, all right. You know, let's hang this one over here. Right by the probe, I guess. All right. Ribs were daisy chained, double hooked. Try to hang them bone side in each one. Like that. Just put everything dripping on the coals. Actually, I'm gonna spread it out because I'm gonna put something in the barbecue can here in a little bit. So try to get this spread out a little bit. Rib, tips. All right, I'm gonna find out if that buttermilk makes those ribs soft, and it's dang alarms going off. Well, that thermometer's showing about 225, and this one's showing about 308. Barrel House says it's cooking hotter, deeper down. That's for sure. The ribs are showing about 181, so I think it's about time to sauce them. I want to pull these off in the neighborhood of about 190 or so, just because I want ribs to be, on bones and not, pulled pork. So, but I do want them tender, all right? So that's the point of the buttermilk. So what I'm going to do now is sauce them. I'm using a combination of sauces. Let's see what they look like here. Ooh, look at that right there. All right, we'll go double speed as I sauce these ribs up. I'm using two different sauces. One is the Heinz Memphis sweet and spicy sauce. I had a little bit in the bottle in the refrigerator. And I had a little bit of a dark molasses sauce from a local sausage company, a regional sausage company in East Texas. About a 45-minute drive from my house in West Louisiana. So I just mixed the two sauces together and put them on there. Somehow I got some on the back of my hand there too. I didn't even realize that till after I was looking at the video later after filming this. So anyway, sauce both sides of both the racks of spare ribs, but I don't sauce the rib tips. Like I said, that's for a different dish. If you're wondering what's in that barbecue can hanging there in the center of the barrel, I've just got 4 russet potatoes in it, about the size of a fist. I just stuck them in there, no olive oil, no nothing. Just put them in there and let them bake right there in that can, because baked potatoes go well with spare ribs too. So anyway, this buttermilk thing worked out pretty well. I hope you stick around for the taste test, but I want to tell you that my wife asked me, how many ribs have you eaten? I looked down at my plate and I had 7 bones on my ribs. I said, honey, I have eaten 7. Guess I need to eat 1 more just to make it even. My son loved them too. We had some for leftovers the next day, and as we were eating the lunch for the next day with the leftovers, my son said, Dad, you got to make ribs like this again. All right, let's get them off of here. Don't that look good? Bet you wish you could smell it. Whoo! All right. There's 1 rack, all sauced up and ready to go. Let's see. They don't bend well, but they bend okay, I guess. They seem to poke pretty easy. All right. There's rib tips. Pull that out of there. Ooh, fire started down there. Want to see what that rack looks like? Look at that. Ooh. All right. And las papas. All right. Here they are, 2 racks of ribs and the rib tips. They've been resting, cooling. I think they're gonna be just about right. I'll cut up the rib tip here in a minute just to compare, okay? Let's get the hooks out of these. I daisy chained them. Let's see what we got here. Whoo, the a little bit of bone there. Let's take a look at the other ones. Take that mid off. Can you see what we're dealing with there? Ooh, still hot. Still hot. But they cutting easy. They cutting easy. They're juicy. Yeah, that's one of the thicker ones, okay? No? I couldn't resist that second bite. These are really good. Is it worth marinating buttermilk? Hey, it worked. I know it's worth it for pork chops because pork chops can get really tough when you grill them, because it's high heat and they cook really fast. You can get ribs tender without marinating them in buttermilk, but these are pretty good. I gotta try another one. Okay, I'm gonna try some of that tip meat, and it's pulls, but it's drier. Or it's drier than the non-buttermilk marinated. Yeah, I like the buttermilk.